What's up guys, Shanan. Today we're going to check out Myra Senja. In this location we call Subang Bestari. Let's go check it out. Well, I've been here before for the adjacent completed project, but today we're going to check out this brand new project by our friends in Myra called Myra Senja. And just to get the location coordinates right first, we are right behind or very close to the Subang airport, and it's also very close to Sungai Buloh. A lot of people may not know this, but the main road that cuts through Kampung Subang is actually called Jalan Sungai Buloh. And within that area, there's this brand new development hotspot now. As you can see, a lot of construction works are actually ongoing. That's the site, and right in front, that would be the sales gallery. Let's go check it out. Okay, so let's get our coordinates right. This is in Subang 2. The official address name is actually Subang 2, but there's a lot of name to this, Damansara West lah, whatever lah, right? All the kind of thing. Entirely up to you. But this is Subang Airport. Personally, I do think the biggest infrastructure catalyst to this address will be Dash Highway. So with this Dash Expressway, it connects this area immediately to the rest of town. Imagine this, right? Go to Kota Damansara 10-15 minutes only. Also with Dash Highway, it connects to Gatri Highway as well, which connects over to City of Elmina, Puncak Alam, and that side of town. What's very exciting as well within this proximity will be the Guasa land development over there. So they started off with the brand new MRT already. And based on the team feedback, because this is the project site, for the existing projects around, there's already the last mile solution, which is the rapid van, right, on demand. Many help students who are studying around the corner, right, they just take that and use the MRT all the time. So that's fabulous for the project. Anyway, so from Dash Expressway coming in, this will be Persiaran Cosmos, and we are in the intersection between Persiaran Cosmos and Persiaran Angkasa. This is Myra Senja. So immediately when you come into the address, there's this very old vibe where every buildings around are old, besides the apartments that's very newly completed lah. So you will have right in front a shop lot, which we are in right now. We'll go and check out the other side of the shop lot, the commercial area later, but surrounding the project currently is all landed home. Okay, so this will be the project that we're going to check out today. This is a 5-acre piece of land with 576 units all together. Okay, so there will be 3 blocks. One block will have 192 units all together. So this is Tower A, this is Tower B, this is Tower C. Okay, you can see that very funky orientation. We'll talk about it later. I've always appreciated efforts like this. But coming in, so this will be the Persiaran Cosmos coming in. The main circulation pathway into the project will be via this. So this will be the entrance statement into the project altogether. And all blocks will have their individual drop-off lobby. So block A one will be within the bottom, block B and block C. And it will be mixed within the commercial aspect of it. So in total, there will be about 80,000 square feet of them managed by the developer itself. So they will somehow continue the retail experience from what you have in the opposite shop lots as well. That's nice. So coming in, this will be the retail front, and I really appreciate the buffer away from the main road. So this is going to give so much breather. So when you are picking units, right, do take that into consideration, because right behind will be another project already next to it. So pick wisely. Then also when you come in, this will be the guard house, and that will separate the residents car park with the non-residents. All lobbies will be within the open area, which is something very different. And coming in, this will be 4 levels of elevated car park altogether, and in the center it will be connected via speed ramps across levels. So that's pretty straightforward. But one thing I really am amazed with, it's the design intent of having this very open design for facilities. So after just looking through the design, right, this kind of reminds me of their previous project that we visited, Myra Cove in Cyberjaya, where we have somewhat similar design language where it's very family lifestyle oriented. Just look at the pool, right? There will be 3 different types of pool, but they combine the entire water body all together to maximize its majestic feel. Here you have the lap pool, here you have the family pool, and then the kids wading pool along with the playground itself inserted within. If that's not enough, never mind. You will have this extensive children play area with its jungle gym structure again. If that's not enough, you will have another open lawn. All this just to drain the kids' energy before you guys can settle down at home. Then within this structure itself, when you can see, right, most likely it's just going to be a washroom and just sitting lounge for you to just chill and hang out. And you just look at its profile, that's very low profile, nothing too loud about the design, right? Then within the very active areas, you will have corners in between blocks to be your private zones. Lovely. And the jogging path in total is about 400 meters altogether. And when we check further, it's designed by one of our favorite architects, YHSA. When I say it's simple but yet unique, okay, technically what a normal developer approach would be is just 3 blocks all together. Either it's an L shape or whatsoever, that's about it. But here you can see it's oriented in a way where it resolves the main crucial point in this site, which is the overlooking issue to the adjacent building. So by having this orientation slanted a little bit, so you can look through the gaps between buildings instead. Indirectly also opening up corners like this, so when you pick units at this ground floor, indirectly this kind of belongs to you. And when you have vegetation here, or when you have landscape treatments here, right, it's going to be the background to your living space. Awesome, right? Then on the other side, so these two will be facing each other, but it's separated by this very huge lawn. Then in the center, they kind of oriented this to be in a slanted manner. Again, maximizing the view, minimizing overlooking issue. Will you still overlook? Yes, just minimizing the impact. And this one is a little bit more playful. They even extend out the structure altogether. And this is where I really appreciate the effort. Just a simple twist of structure like this is going to cost the team a lot of money from a structural point of view, because you will need to have more tie beams because this is actually off-grid and things like that. But I like they still do it within the budget. I really appreciate it. Then when you have side profiles of the building facing a side profile, then this gap need not to be as big as the other one. They even take that into consideration. And here then they will make a small jogging pathways, and just look at the swimming pool feature, right? So you will have somewhat like a very linear line, a very flat roof altogether, a very humble design, nothing too fancy, which just blends the whole structure within the landscape. And the intent to keep the entire facility deck open, right, which is to really increase the sense of space to it. In terms of structure, in terms of build up from a facilities point of view, usually you will have the gym and you will have the multi-purpose hall. When did the team put this? Uniquely, they placed this within the elevated car park itself. Very interesting. The other one, which is the gym, they place it one level below the facility deck instead of above. So here they will also have all the other lounge, study room or whatsoever all within this level. And that is because you will have a very huge canvas altogether. Because after all, it's 5 acres ma. And in comparison to the number of units, right, the density is actually very, very low. Therefore, you have a lot more canvas to do things like this. That's why I really appreciate it. And then another reason for this is because within this location itself, there's a building height limit to comply to, since we are very, very close to the Subang airport, and that's my favorite airport of all time. And within all those limitations, they came out with this superb. Well, all those are for residents. For public, then if you're coming in for the shopping experience, then this will all be the retail car park, and within that, as we mentioned, that will be the lobbies of respective blocks blended within. And obviously this is not enough lah, so this will be the entrance to the retail car park altogether, separated. So to me, this may be a concern when I want to come out, especially in these roads. So this is a two-way, and I've always have mixed feelings for mixed developments. If business very good, also susah because you will have congestion problem. If business no good, then it will leave a very negative impression to the project. Yeah, I don't know. I think good is better lah, right? Definitely. So in order to have a clearer illustration of the car park layout, so once we come in, right, this will be the ramp coming up to level 1 already, and we can see this will be the community hall, and next to it will be the badminton courts. So it's isolated out from the main facility deck. Then at level 4, this will be the gym and the reading room. So there will be two sides of the coin to this. One is, in first glance, you might think, why not all put the facilities together, right? In one place. So you want to go gym, it's the same place. You want to go study, it's the same place. And go community hall, it's the same place. But when you think about user experience for residents, right, you don't behave that way. So this architect is kind of playful with it. They isolated them all together. So when the facility deck is all open, it allows them to have all garden units within the block at facility deck. And one of the main issues for garden units is always you have too many people, especially when you have gatherings. When people are using the multi-purpose hall for birthday parties or whatsoever, you will have a lot of strangers, and that is when you don't really like it. So by placing the multi-purpose hall within level 1, it opens up the breadth. It also increases the privacy level and comfort level of all the garden units. So suddenly these garden units will be heavily in demand, in contrast to those usual where in front you will have the gym, in front you will have a lot of strangers hanging out around. This design approach then resolves this. And when you have all the buildings oriented together again, it adds the sense of dynamism to the space, combo that with all the organic lines around the facility and the walkways and things like that, right? It just blurs up the whole experience of what we think about a conventional apartment building. So in first glance, again, we think that the massing typology is rather complicated, but it's actually the same floor layout for 3 blocks all together. In one block, you will have 12 units, and you see the Senja part is all the same. So that's nice, and in total, there will be 12 units per block serviced by 3 lifts, and the units are arranged in a double-loaded corridor. However, the team told me that the corridors will be walled up almost all the way, just leaving a gap for air ventilation, and that's about it. So when we check out the unit layout later, then we will see why. They'll be less reliant on the void opening of the corridor for air circulation and daylightings lah. That's always good. And so you can see the drawings here, the lines for the corridors is a little bit different, and there will be a fire partition door for the lift lobby itself. So if you are within the 4 blocks, one is higher in privacy, the remaining one will be 8, and there will be 2 RMM units per floor, which is the T1s here. There will be the compliance housing units, but I gotta say the corner units are amazing. So those are 1,400 square feet 4-bedroom units, which is very rare in the market. This is the unit I'm going to check out today. This is type 2A, which is 1101 square feet, a 3-bedroom 2-bathroom unit that comes with 2 car parks. So it's pretty standard. When you come in through the entrance, there will be a rather large kitchen within this pocket itself, connecting to your living and dining space. You will have a balcony, and this is the new concept that I've explained just now. You will have the yard at the balcony itself. So this is the one that we checked out in the previous project called Connaught 1 before. Okay, then we go in, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and then you will have a master bedroom here with the ensuite bath. However, just to shout out a few more other designs, right? This is actually type 2B, and you will have the design that we have kind of debated about for Connaught 1 as well, where you have a kitchen design next to your balcony. This is very, very interesting because from an entertainment point of view, right, by having the balcony at the side, always there's this glaring issue. You need to put up curtains just to solve the issue, right? This interplay kind of makes more sense along with the balcony yard design. What a way to address what we always perceive as a negative space. Very, very interesting. Then the largest size design that they have is a 1,420 square feet. One is a 4-bedroom unit. So you can see, right, wow, you have my favorite layout of all. You have a landscape mode where the living and dining can be arranged together in this manner. This is my favorite all time. And you combo that with the balcony design next to it. Woo! Very rare you have a 4-bedroom units like this, but too bad they don't have show unit, and they only have show unit for the smaller one. Okay, so coming in, this will be the foyer. In total 1.67 in width. This is about 480 mm, where you can put in a shoe cabinet. Very nice. Going into the unit, the clearance of the door is about 960 mm. So it's a 1 meter by 2.4 meters door. Very nice. And I like that they position the door away slightly from it again, instead of putting it right center, right? So here you can still put in your sideboard or your shoe cabinet or whatsoever within this very long wall lah. So coming in straight away, you will have your dining, then your living, then your kitchen tucked in within this pocket itself. And the width is huge from wall to wall. For this kitchen space, it's about 2.66 meters. That's why you can perfectly fit in a U-size kitchen cabinet if budget permits. But the developer is actually providing a lot of electrical appliances by Panasonic, and they're also giving quads for the kitchen top and the backsplash. But for more information, because usually they will revise these every now and then, so please always check with the sales staff. But in terms of location of switches, it's going to be pretty much the same. This will be your backsplash hood and hob. This will be a 2-burner. This will be the location of your basin, and I like the position of the window. So this is the horizontal layout type. It's going to be connected to the void space itself, and because of the corridors having a very high wall approach, the privacy for this kitchen greatly improved. Because if not, you will always see strangers walking around the corridor looking at you. That will be so weird. Next to that, then there will be the location of the fridge, and I'm absolutely amazed with how thoughtful the architect is. So this will be a set in from a structural point of view to really have a natural pocket for the fridge itself. So you have this design. If not always, the position of the fridge is always very odd, right? So here they kind of cave in the wall for the entire setting of the kitchen. Such a huge fan. Anyway, this will be a different approach to the dining experience. They kind of have this island, but this is only possible when you have a wall-to-wall width of about 3.7 meters. And you combo that with the ceiling height that's about 2.8 meters. You can really feel the depth of space, which is nice. That's why you put in the island here. There's still so much space for circulation and sitting area. If not, you can always still put the sideboard here or more cabinets or storage space if you want to. And with that width of space, you just look into the settee design, right? It's so big. And I like the choice of coffee table. It's low enough. It's a very humble design again. So going out from the living room, there will be a sliding door, right, connected to the balcony itself. The width is about 925 mm, tiled, and you will have steel handrail. And I really like this drain design here. So it's kind of having this narrow profile all the way. You will have the floor trap at that position. And this balcony design, as we have seen in the previous project, we didn't know it was designed by the same architecture team. This is an outdoor yard area, and I must say it's very extensive. So this space here, just for the yard itself, is 1.67 in width and 2.2 in length. That's why after you put in your washer and dryer in this position, you still have ample amount of space. Usually this is the location for your aircon latch, right? But you think about it, right? What an innovative way to use it. We haven't seen an actual design of such being executed or finished building yet lah. But what a great interplay of what we think as a negative space, right? Because when we look into modern designs, the main thing that we overlook is storage area and yard space. It's actually more common for us to integrate yard space into the kitchen, then we just forget about storage lah. But this one is a little bit different to an extent. The other design where you have kitchen designed closer to the balcony, that's a whole different approach also, where we kind of discussed before. When you pick such units, you need to think about the utility aspect of it. Because of the kitchen being designed in what we think as a living area, all the water points, electrical points, all will be different, and it will be a hassle if you want to redesign back to the conventional. Again, it adds up to the complexity of the decision-making process. But as a buyer, the choices become so interesting. Wow! And for this area as well, there will be a water point. There most likely be an electrical point for your washer and dryer. Then there's a window. I don't think the wall will be Venetian plastered like this lah, but I think it looks great. In terms of glazing then, I don't think there's any tint at all. I'm not too sure on the final product, but this looks like it lah. Okay. So for this whole project here, the starting price will be from 660,000. And if you reverse calculate, right, it's about 590 per square feet. And when you compare against product within this area itself, conventionally, a lot of earlier products are leveraging on the help unicity. So it means that they are focusing on the student population instead. And interesting enough, right, it's paying off lah. So per room is about 800 to 1,000, depending whether is it the normal intermediate room or with ensuite bathroom. And again, this developer took a very different approach, not focusing on that, because after the completion of the Dash Highway lah, I think. So now this is so family oriented, where in built up size, it's way larger, up to 1,004, 4-bedroom. Interesting. Moving on, this will be the corridor into the private spaces. The width here is 1.05 meters and the height is 2.34 meters. So you have a drop in ceiling for utility purposes. And going in, this will be the first bathroom. Here, this will be a very different approach to the usual ramp design that I actually like, right? So they still apply drop to the design, but it's a mere 10 mm, which is 1 cm drop. So 1 cm drop here, the other 1 cm drop here to the shower area, another 1 cm drop to the drain itself. So it'll be very kind to the toes because we always kick the race one. And even if you require any moving or stroller or wheelchair, right, it's not too bad. Again, a very interesting twist to the design approach. Anyway, full height wall tiles. I like the tone of this kind of texture. You have this monotone terrazzo textures across Sorrento basin and WC. Then your shower area. This will be the window that's connected to the aircon latch. So in terms of daylighting, you will have ample amount of it. In terms of privacy, it's frosted, but eventually you can open to access the aircon latch outside lah. Okay. Coming up from there, there will be 3 bedrooms here. Bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and the principal bedroom. Okay, let's check out bedroom 2 first. So the size of the room is about 2.7 by 3.9. Very sizable, and all bedrooms you can put in a queen size bed. So that's what they categorize as a room lah. And just for information, this is a commercial title land, therefore you will have sprinkler requirements within the unit itself. Just for information. Okay, so after you put in a queen size bed here, you can have your wardrobe on this side, and because of the very wide width, you still have space for bedside tables, even a very long working desk or dressing table if you want to. Okay, and nice. For floorings, you will have the laminated timber floor, just like the one opposite. So this one, they actually have a different approach to things. The width here is about 2.85 by 3.3 meters. So by measurement, you can fit in a queen size bed as well, but they kind of have a different twist on design. They use this as an AV room, a theater setting instead. More interested will be the window profile. So this will be the window profile on this side. Nice. Last but not least, this will be the principal bedroom. Okay, again, you can see the approach where you have a pocket dedicated for your wardrobe area. Very nice. So the wall-to-wall width here is about 2.8 meters, but the length is 4.3 meters. That's why after you put in a king size bed here, bedside tables, you still have a lot of space. And this is excluding the wardrobe space actually. Moving on, this will be the ensuite bathroom. Similar approach, full height wall tiles, then you will have Sorrento basin and WC, a nice curb here to put in your shampoos and stuff. No shower screen. Then you will have window for ventilation and daylighting, frosted for privacy reasons. And now we are at site. So this side will be closer to Tower C and the car park into the retail area. And if you look into the drone shots, the site itself is kind of sandwiched between 2 apartment structures. And if you pay close attention to their project details, the unit layouts is pretty much the same, where it allows room partitions to leverage on student population. And because of that, I'm very happy the developer took a very different approach to this, where they focus on buyers buying for family purposes and own stay purposes. That's nice. And what will be interesting then will be a debate between the landed houses around the area versus a larger unit one. So imagine, right, at a 1,400 square feet unit is so nice. The horizontal layout where you have living and dining side by side together, right? Connected to the balcony some more. Wow! That kind of design compared to a landed terrace house, which type would you want? That will be a very interesting debate. And currently we are witnessing the widening of roads. So this is a brand new road, not really open for public just yet. That will just ease off the traffic altogether, and this will extend all the way to Dash Expressway. Another observation will be this project is not being the first, so you won't be shortchanged in terms of convenience. So next to the project, you will have a mixed development, right, where they are already having village grocery within. Right in front of that, you will have commercial lots. Right in front of Tower A and Tower B, you will have an existing shop lots that's very busy already. You need to double park already. Then if you go down further in, there is another commercial area. So in this very small area, it's weird where you have so many commercial area. But when you look into the bigger picture, there is still a lot of empty land and a lot of industrial land. So this area has always been used for its commercial purposes, but now residential components are coming in after, once again, Dash Expressway is completed. So that is seriously a big game changer. But looking at the site, it's a very flat site, nothing too complicated, nothing too difficult to do. Awesome. So about 5 minutes drive away, which is about a km away from site, we have Help University right in front, and that would be Help International School already. So not surprised, but you look into another commercial area that is packed with a lot of people actually. So you have all your usual tenants like the Family Mart, Zeus lah, fast food lah, bubble teas lah, mamas lah, right? Pharmacies, a lot are here. And we can see the rapid on-demand kind of truck there. So that is very, very helpful, and that seems to be the main mode of transportation for students around. But another observation to take note will be the amount of empty lands around as well. So some of it belongs to RRIM, which is the Lembaga Getah Malaysia. That one you cannot touch that, right? But for the rest, you can still see a lot of plot of land that's empty. And the thing is this, when this project does well, just like the previous projects next door, right, more developers will come into the location actually. So that is something to also take note. And I guess that's all for today. It's now time for Sean's Take 3 on 3. So for the first 3 things, number 1 will be the infrastructure improvement, especially on this location. So this is a location where a lot of people will just pass by not knowing that it exists until the completion of Dash Highway. So after Dash Highway come out, then suddenly people, hey, this location actually very close, right? And when Dash is completed, suddenly here driving up to Kota Damansara center, not the fringe of it, but to the center, it's actually very, very close, and that connects you over to Mong Kiara and the city center as well. Along Dash Highway also there's a connection to Guthrie Highway, which opens up to the Almina side of things, and I must say it's very, very helpful. If not, the conventional way has always been the old Subang Airport way coming in, or the Sungai Buloh Trunk Old Road coming in, but now it's all different. Next to that then will be definitely the Help University. So that just added an investment perspective to the real estate around this address. There's a project at the adjacent site. We can see mostly their design is really room by room by room, and they can rent out about 1,000 per room. Actually, it's solid. So if we look into the commercial area, there's a lot of cars, a lot of people, absolutely in contrast to people who are not familiar with the location. Excellent infrastructure improvement. The second thing I like will be the design feature. So as always, I'm a huge fan of this particular architecture team. Technically, it can be just a simple 3-block, right? But they did exactly the same. It's a L-shaped building, and it's the same uniform block across the whole plot of land, but they just twisted that a little bit to maximize view. So also to minimize units directly seeing each other. So that's number 1. Number 2, so in terms of massing, I like it. The second thing is their approach to the facility, that which is very unique altogether. So usually we will see a lot of small little structures around the facility deck, and that just limits the horizon feeling of the facilities. This one really different. You can see that they combine 3 swimming pools all together. The residence one, the lap pool, the family pool, the wedding pool, and on top of the wedding pool, they put in the play areas are more awesome, right? And next to that, just in case the play area is not enough, they have a massive children playground. In case there's not enough, you have an empty lawn, which is always good to burn off the children's energy. For that big lawn land, it's bigger than the smaller pocket garden next to it. It's because you have units balcony facing each other, so they maximize that distance. The other side, because it's a side profile of the building facing another side profile, so it's smaller. All that is within calculation, and in order to do that, they relocated the facilities such as the gym, reading room, badminton courts, and the multi-purpose hall to the elevated car park. Of course, they can do that is because they have ample amount of space for the canvas, right? 5 acres. But this is also a different twist where, in first glance, again, we think that all facilities should be together, but from a user point of view, you won't suddenly play badminton, suddenly want to go swimming on, man. You won't go multi-purpose hall suddenly, you want to go children playground, man. So based on that logic, I understand, but the main design intent to just empty out, let the facility deck have room to breathe. Even the small little lounge area next to the pool, right, is kept to a very humble structure, nothing too complexity, just emphasizing the horizon line a little bit more. A very Frank Lloyd Wright kind of approach to design. I love it. And we go into the unit design some more. It's so thoughtful where they have a dedicated pocket from a structural point of view to accommodate the kitchen cabinets, also the wardrobe in the master bedroom. Next would be the floor level drop for the toilet. So they didn't use ramp because ramp might take up more space than expected. They put in a very gentle drop up to 10 mm only. It's a very gentle drop. Then the door, they purposefully allocate more to a side, so on the negative space on the door, you can still accommodate cabinets for extra storage spaces. Because instead of just smacking the door in the center of the opening, right? It's very thoughtful lah. But they, at the same time being thoughtful, they are pushing boundaries by having a balcony yard space. So that one, I don't know whether you can accept or not. To me, I haven't seen one in actual, but logically speaking, it makes sense lah. Then the second one is the kitchen design, also designed next to the balcony. That's another innovative design. This is not the first time we see this, but it's also designed by the same team. So this one, let me know what you think. And the last point I like will be the density. But in first glance, again, if you look into the side, it doesn't feel like it because you will have similar apartments next to each other. But when you look into the address itself, it's all landed homes only. Even for high rises, they all look the same because they are all limited by the building height. But when you think about 5 acres with only 576 units, and per floor you will have only about 12 units. Adding on the size of the units, right, it's a very own stay design oriented building. Nice. Well, the 3 things I have concern on, number 1, there is just a lot of competition here, especially when you compare the adjacent township lah. So this is sandwiched between a few major townships, like Kuasa Development, next door only, City of Almina, not too far away, Ara Damansara, and then you have Puncak Alam. So at this price point, at this size, then you need to make your very own calculation, your own consideration, because location matters, right? On that same note, adjacent, you also have a lot of empty land that will most likely be developed as well. That's why when we buy a project, we gotta really understand what's the main reason that drove our decision to buy that. It must be driven by a very strong unique selling point, from a unique design and things like that lah. The second thing will be the familiarity of the location. Honestly speaking, not a lot of people know this location exists actually. Where is Subang Murni? A lot of people would think like, oh, it's in Subang Jaya, right? SGCC area. No. Technically, this is still under Shah Alam. That's the very surprising thing for a lot of people who didn't know. This is very close to Kota Damansara side, Sungai Buloh side, yet very close to Kampung Subang side. Officially, it's called Subang 2, and many people only discover this after the completion of Das Expressway. Suddenly, this highway really shortened the traveling time. Even the driving experience has improved a lot. No more driving local roads all the way out from the location. Now you have highways already. That's good, right? So if you're familiar with the location, okay. If you are not, right, maybe you want to come and visit lah, just to add to your discovery of locations. And last of all will be the mixed feeling I have for mixed development. So because this is a very own stay oriented project, they still added in the convenience aspect of it, which is the retail downstairs. Fortunately, it's all managed by the developer, so that's great. So now they are really building their leasing arm already. That's always good news. But the approach to the design where you have one way in for all the shop lots, so just imagine, right? This entire shop lot is going to be as busy as this one, and in between the shops will be the lobby to your own block. So for Tower B and Tower C, the entrance to the residence will be between the shop lots lah. So that's something I don't know how to feel about it. It's definitely not private. It means everybody will know, hey Sean, come back already. Wow, nice, I see you new car. Well, that is for drop-offs. If you drive your own car, then you will directly drive into the elevated car park behind. Also, it's a whole different story. But if the location, if it's doing very, very good, you will have very prosperous business. It will be double parked everywhere, and that will also congest the entrance into the project itself. That's one troublesome aspect where I'm personally facing myself in my own residence right now. The other one is if the building doesn't do well, it also gives a very negative vibe to the entire development. So it's a very mixed feeling I have for mixed developments lah. Anyway, do I like the project? I'm a huge fan of this development team, including the one that they did in Cyberjaya. So I've always appreciated their contrarian approach to things, a very unique take to the usual norm. And if I were to consider this, it's definitely for own stay if I want to buy it lah. And I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.